Alright, welcome back, folks. We are going to continue our journey. Our objective is to do these wings back here. Also edit anything else that we see. Last time we left off, it was on a unicorn horn. So now we need to do the Pegasus Wings. Yes, we have to do Pegasus Wings today. We have a peanut gallery with us today. We have Miss Demona, who will be my official critique artist. So first thing we're going to do is enter in a sphere, appending a sphere, and then we are going to simply add a new folder, and this will be the wings. Now, because the wings are different, we're not going to use the 3D models. Instead, we're going to choose to do something different. We're going to choose to do this right here. Twilight Sparkle's wings. As you recall, we left off there. Trying to think about anything else that we've been doing. Did the horseshoes, did the helmet, did the horns, did the unicorn horns. So now we're just making sure that everything is starting to clean up before we bind all of them. And we start painting everything. So we have this big bone right here, this larger bone. We can kind of use the first one as reference. It looks like it's attached. Might have to add a circle to that. Just get the parts, just the general layout, so we'll duplicate that. I want to hyperextend it slightly and make it just a little bit smaller. And this one looks like it's got two right there, so we might make this a little bit thinner. Duplicate that. And now we've got another, let's be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And then this will be a joint right here. And lift this up, shrink it. Don't forget, we are hyperextending it, right? So we definitely want it to be at its max. And there's 3 of them. I can already tell that this is getting a little large, so we probably need to start shrinking some of this down. Shrink this like so. This one is actually larger. So we'll shrink this one down as well. It's always interesting to see cartoons' wings. Let's just go ahead and delete that. And then duplicate this. Twilight's wings are usually larger than the normal Pegasus. So we'll have to keep that in mind as we do this. And this looks to be about half the size of that, so we'll shrink it down to about half the size. And we will Duplicate that. Bring it down. Duplicate one more time. Bring it down. One, two, three. So, okay. Duplicate this. Make it just a little bit smaller. Duplicate. Be a natural curve to this. Duplicate that again. Perfect. Now we need the last part, the tip. I'm going to duplicate this, and then once again we're going to shrink it just to be about half the size. See how the tip's like the smallest? Maybe a third, maybe about a third. Shrink it about a third. That looks good. And then duplicate that. Bring this on down. How you guys do your wings is up to you. This is like a quick, easy, dirty method in order to do it very fast, very quick. And it looks proportionally correct. We'll duplicate that. I might make this one just a little bit smaller, just a little bit. Now that we have our object mostly mapped out, right? Now we're going to add in joints themselves. So next we're going to append a 3D sphere. It is here that this will be the joint of which the pieces will be connected. So, much like what we did with the joints on the legs, we're going to do the exact same thing with the wings. Once again, these are just like ball sockets, right? Like in every hip and elbow, it's a little socket on which the joint moves and rotates. You know, you ain't messing with this. It's a little concerned that she's working on the playing with the cord of the internet. Let's go ahead and hide the shoulder. Back to this. How is that? That looks pretty good. We'll duplicate this size, and then we'll put this right here in the elbow. We might want to shrink it just a little bit. Make sure everything's working properly. How do we want to do this? Probably duplicate that. I mean, I know these will shrink a little bit when we work on it. But like I said, once again, we're just simply mapping stuff out, putting things where we think they should be. It doesn't mean that's where they're going to go at the final stages. I feel like this needs to be shrank or put into 2. I'm thinking putting this into 2. So having like 2 little balls right here. Duplicate. This will be the joint. And then we'll make smaller ones. Which to connect the pieces together. How does that look? I feel like the fingers need to be dropped down a little bit. The digits need to go down. Okay, that looks good enough. Looks pretty good. Just go ahead and duplicate that. And then drop this one down. Okay, and then duplicate. Yeah, I feel like this needs to definitely, yeah. I'm gonna shrink that just a little bit. My goal and objective here is to make sure that they blend in fairly seamlessly. Let's go ahead and drop this one down into the circle as well. Then duplicate this. I don't think we want to shrink this one. I mean, the sizes are just a little bit smaller. Maybe just a hair. Just a little bit. That's connectors. There we go. And then we'll drop this one into that. Let's have a look-see. We can shrink this just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. That's a good joint right there, right there. That's a good connector. Let's see here. So duplicate this, push this back. This is a little bit off, slightly off, but it's not bad. Probably should have done the skeletons first and foremost. That way I knew like there's actual anatomy of ponies. Especially when it comes to like cartoons and stuff like that. It's very difficult to get the idea of where pieces go. Yeah, that worked out pretty well. Those are very well. Yeah, that looks really, really good. Okay, we're going to duplicate this. Move this down. Yeah, there we have a wing. Everything's made pretty solidly. Now we can go into individual pieces and start editing them down. So, for example, let's go ahead and go to the move brush. Yeah, we want the move brush. Yes? I want to go outside. How come every time I start talking, you want to go outside? I played with you earlier, chased you around the house, made sure you were fed. I guess now that all your needs have been met, you're ready to go outside and explore. Yes. It's cold outside. Let's see what temperature is. It's currently 48 degrees out there. Yes, you don't want to be out there. She's like, let me be the judge of that. Yes. It is cold out there. It's only going to get colder. solid right there. Okay, what's the next part? Let's go ahead and go to clay buildup. Let's make sure that this isn't as perfect as it should. Yes, please save. Always save. Friendly reminder, always save. The other night I was working on Lady Galanthus. I had not saved in a while, and I lost an entire section of hair. I was not happy. Not happy at all. How's that look? Solid. Awesome. Joints. Generally speaking, I don't mess around with joints. I like to add textures to them. But the joints themselves, I generally don't touch unless it's like specific. So on here, we're going to go to inflate, right? Let's see here, inflate. Inflate right here. Right. And then we're going to deflate the interior. Right. And then we're going to inflate the exterior. Not a lot. Not a lot. But if somebody's looking at it, it should be easily told or easily seen. Actually, there should be like a curve to this. Perfect. Once again, you don't want symmetry on or anything like that. Because the goal is to make him unique. And the elbow, right here, the elbow, is actually a little bit larger. So we'll definitely make that a little bit bigger. Good. Smooth that out a little. See how we have this nice, lovely interior curve, much like that. That's exactly what we're going for. Now, in order, I want to strengthen the joints, right? I definitely want to strengthen the joints. So we're going to bulk up the ends. Not because it's anatomically correct, but because for 3D printing and stuff like that. And just smooth it out, smooth it out, smooth it out. That looks pretty good. Alright, once again, we're not going to mess with the joints any. I think we will mess with the bones themselves with clay buildup, I think. We definitely want to be smaller. Generally speaking, I like to build up the edges on which the joints are connected and then shrink the middle part. Take a little bit of cuts out of them. Just to get some variety. Now we take out just little bits here and there and here. Then we increase the size and we smooth it all down. Yeah, see how that looks like a nice texture? Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. Let's go ahead and inflate just a little bit. There you go. Perfect. So that's what we're going for. That's what I'm looking for. See how it looks. You have to break up that perfection, that cylinder-like appearance. So getting a clay buildup, shrink it down. Wait a second, where's this circle? Duplicate this. Well, let's make sure that it's not hidden anywhere. Doesn't appear to be, so we'll just duplicate that. It's kind of strange. Kind of strange. Sometimes parts just go missing. Or you forget what you did with them. That happens. Once again, we're going to shrink it down. We need to inflate this. So once again, we need to inflate the ends. So once again, we go to the inflate. The objective here is once again to create mass. The strongest part in the structure should be in the middle. But we're reinforcing these edges right here. Once again, we're going to go to clay buildup and shrink it down. Ooh, needs to be bigger. 11? Yeah, that looks good. For the last digit, we will not be inflating the tip, but we will be inflating the base. Once again, we will just take chunks out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just some depth and variety. It's a little random. And then once again, we're going to smooth it all down, blend it together. There we go. And once again, we are going to inflate. You'd think that I'd recognize the areas in which they're at, but you keep adding new brushes and stuff like that, so... Good lord. Inflate. Looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. I might come back through and do that again to these. But like I said, we're just working on the individuals right now. Clay buildup. Shrink down the size. Strengthen the base. Once again, we're just going to chunk out some pieces, add pieces. Perfect. And just smooth it out. And once again, we go to inflate. Strengthen those edges. Perfect. Moving on. Clay buildup. Shrink it down. Looks pretty good to me. Nope. No subdivisions here. And once again, inflate. Let's go ahead and add up to the last part right here. We're going to go once again to clay buildup. Shrink it down to that. Take chunks out. Okay. And smooth it once again. Try and get that weary, not perfect appearance. Once again, we go to inflate. Ooh, too big, too big. Perfect. Moving on. seems like we go anywhere between 40 to 30. And then for the clay buildup, we go to about 10 on the draw size. Now your model might be different, so just eyeball it and see where it is that works best for you. Some people might want finer detail. Some people might just want to skip this part entirely. But I think you can tell the difference between what's been worked on and what hasn't. Human eye is very good at picking up patterns and objects that are like super clean, like super unnaturally clean or smooth. The human eye picks up on it really easily. So you just usually want to mess it up just a little bit. If you're going organic. If you're not going organic, then yeah, you're looking for more of a perfect appearance. And even still, you probably want to put in some sort of texture, even if that is the case. Just to break it up a little. Also, it depends on the style that you're going for. So say if you're going for like robot ponies or something like that, or it's just like manufactured, where you have the finished product, like a finished robot pony, that would make sense. Where it'd be almost perfect, almost flawless. I can see where this could be used for a robot. As a baseline, although I wouldn't take this. I'd do more of like a sheets instead of pipes, if that makes sense. I go very square, very angular. If I was going to do a robot pony. So far, maybe like the head and facial features, but even still, the ears and mouth and just body parts would be exceptionally sharp. If that makes sense. But with organic material, you definitely don't want it to be clean. And then smooth it all out. So here's a good question. Why don't I use the inflate first? Right? Why you don't want to do the inflate is because when you smooth it out, you make everything into a plane, right? So that's why I use inflate at the very end. Because you're exaggerating what's already there. Also makes the middle a little bit stronger, if that makes sense. Stronger in the sense of like, how would I describe it? Stronger in the sense of like the textures, right? Everything is going from tip to tip. So the base, you want it to be fairly strong. So structurally, you want the base to be the strongest. So it's like building a house, right? You want a good solid foundation before moving forward. Especially if you're thinking about 3D printing. Awesome. And then we go back to inflate. Did we seriously just knock this out in less than an hour? That is really good for me. Once again, inflate. Perfect. It's not done yet, but it's getting there. How's that look? Yeah, we need to... Okay, we need to edit some of this. We need to apply textures also to the circles as well. So, once again, we're going to go clay build up. Shrink it down. Once again, we're going to place just enough to edit it, right? Because the goal, the objective here, is to make it not look perfect. Yeah, just mess it up as much as possible. There we go. Then we want to take out sections in the middle, especially on the interior. Okay, perfect. Now, yes. And smooth this out. See how I'm losing some of that inflation? Or, that inflate? Just because of the smoothing out textures. So this is a perfect example of where you want to do inflating and stuff at the end. So, yeah. But that is what we're going for, right? Looking for that organic appearance. See how you can tell the difference between them? That is exactly what we're going for. Once again, clay build up. Then we will need to go through and texturize, which I'll talk about once we get there. Okay, and then remove this stuff here. Yes, looks good. We'll kind of smooth that out just a little bit more. Maybe not. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay, yeah, that looks really good. That is looking exceptionally good. Okay, now that I'm happy with the main section of the bones, now it's time to edit this. So, now we're going to be going over to, what's it, textures. So, textures, we want, what is the speckles is always good. Let's go ahead and go with the speckles. And we want spray. Ooh. It's a little rough. I think we need to turn down the intensity. Let's go ahead and turn down to, I don't know, 10. Let's undo all that. Oof. Intensity down to 5. That's better. We're not wanting it to be overwhelming. I feel like I need to reverse it. Yeah, reversing it looks a lot better. Looking good. See how just a little bit of texture goes a long way. Don't need to be like super aggressive with it. Just a general appearance, right? I'm liking that a lot. Since we're already on textures, just go ahead and... Should we bind this? I mean, I'm feeling pretty good about this. I feel like we should move just slightly. Actually, I feel like this one needs to be moved in. wings are so strange. I feel like that's good right there. I think that'll work. Let's go ahead and have a look-see. Alright, let's go ahead and start working on joints since we're already on the textures. We want to try to keep the textures the same. Put in little textures here, make sure they put textures elsewhere. Consistency is king. That's looking good. No, we want the helmet to be pretty solid. Where's our bullion? Where's our bullion? All right. Clearly this needs to be subdivided. So just undo, 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 undo. This needs to be subdivided. See how we're losing texture? Oh, no, not save. Control D, Control D, Control D. But now we can do the textures. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I feel like we need to subdivide this a bit more too. Okay, now that everything's fairly... Okay, where's that helmet? Yeah, let's go ahead and remove the helmet. Okay. We kind of want to smooth that out. Around the eyes. Okay, so now that we've added texture to pretty much everything, I feel like this needs to be just smoothed out just a little bit. There we go. Don't want to get too textured. Okay, where's the shoulder? Since we're here, we can start merging stuff together, I suppose. Feel fairly confident, yeah, that everything's belonging to everything. Yep, everything's got connected. Okay, cool. So now we can merge. Merge down. Let's see, make sure that we're on the right stuff. Entire wing merged together. Perfect. How's that look? Pretty good, pretty solid. Okay, so we now have our wing completed. This is an hour. We've done a few edits here and there. We've completed the wing. We've done a few touch-ups and designs. Probably next time we will do probably color. Maybe a few more touches here and there. But yeah. We now have our unicorn. We have our Pegasus. And this is everything together. And we're going to flip everything over. So we'll probably mirror everything and flip it. Generally, you want to do from left to right, which is what I was talking about earlier. And I will see you guys in the next episode, where we will continue this adventure.